Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. John Owen talks about sports and movies. Thank you for checking out today's video. I always appreciate the support. Let's get into it. So, Travis Hunter and Ashton Jeanty have both wrapped up their regular seasons. I guess everyone technically has, but that's not really the point. And there's been a lot of discourse and discussion about who should win the Heisman. And so today we are going to discuss the best Heisman race in years and who should actually win college football's most prestigious award. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe so you never miss out on any of the fun. Leave in the comments your thoughts on who you should win it and why and all that fun stuff. But without further ado, let's go ahead and let's get into the actual discussion. So first, I want to say before we actually get into who and why, I think this is pretty easily the best Heisman race we've had in like a long time, relatively a long time. The closest one I can think in like my memory of being like a 23-year-old was RG3 and Andrew Luck. Like that was a pretty tight, like pretty great Heisman race. But outside of that, like I can't really remember there not being a clear winner like pretty much every year since I started paying attention to football. I'm sure there have been like some other really close Heisman races in college football history. But as far as like in my memory and a recent memory to that effect, I would say this is the best Heisman race in a really, really long time. And I think what's really great is that there's not a quarterback. For the love of God, this award has just turned into a Heisman award, or has just turned into a QB award. Like Devontae Smith was is the only receiver to win it like this century. I think only like Mark Ingram and Derrick Henry and Reggie Bush are like the only three running backs. A defensive player has not won it this century. If there's another running back, let me know. College football history is not quite as sharp as it needs to be, but that's not really the point. But I had saw like Dylan Gabriel was in there at one point, and I was like, get him the hell out of here, man. Like, hell no, absolutely not. So I'm glad that these two have kind of ran away with it. I think the betting odds are a lot higher, or like the gap between their odds are a lot higher than what I think they should be. Like Travis is like way the favorite the last time I checked, and I don't really think he's like that much farther ahead than Jeanty if you believe that he should win the Heisman. But they both present such a compelling case to win the Heisman. I think in any other year, these two are the runaway Heisman. Like, no question. Like Bryce Young's year, or maybe not Caleb Williams in 2022, but like I think they would have both smoked Jayden Daniels. I think they would have smoked, insert whoever. Not Joe Burrow. I don't think they would have smoked Joe Burrow in 2019, but I think they smoked Kyler Murray in 2018. In a normal Heisman year, these guys are blowing everyone out of the water. They just happen to both run into each other in the same year. And so I think they both have a super valid case. Whoever wins, I think, is fair. I think whoever doesn't win, like you could 1000% make the argument that they got snubbed. So it really could go to either one. And so I'm really excited to see who actually wins. And I think this has been really fun. I think this college football season has been the best college football season we've gotten post-COVID. Lots of upsets, chaos, 12-team playoff, a great Heisman race. This has been such a great flag planting, after rivalry week. Such an incredible year of college football. And I think, that's what us fans deserve. Definitely. But as far as the actual breakdown between Travis Hunter and Ashton Jeanty. So let's just go over their resumes first. So let's start with Travis Hunter. So 92 catches, over 1,100 yards, top 5 in college football, 14 touchdowns. And on defense, 20 tackles, 11 pass breakups, and 4 picks. He plays both sides of the ball, 120 plus snaps a game. He's a finalist for 3 different awards: Maxwell, Biletnikoff, and Bednarik. They haven't announced Heisman finalists, but he'll be there too. Colorado did go 9-3 this year. I think what's incredible about Travis Hunter is the ability to go both ways and being elite at them. Like, he's not just an average receiver and an average corner, or a good receiver and an average corner. Like when Charles Woodson won the Heisman, he was a great corner, out of this world, incredible. But he was just like a pretty good receiver. And did not play every single offensive snap. Like Travis Hunter does. Travis Hunter is a finalist for the Receiver Award and the Defensive Player of the Year. That's nuts. being in the top 3 of one of those awards is incredibly difficult. And to be able to do both at such an elite level while maybe not being the absolute best, I think it's unlike anything we've ever seen in college football. It is truly transcendent and unparalleled what Travis Hunter is doing. I think that is so cool. And we get to be able to watch that in real time, watch someone like him and Shohei Ohtani do both sides and dominate on both sides is absolutely incredible. I mean, I think it's such a unique, cool experience that we get to have as sports fans. I think people really need to cherish that. Now let's look at Ashton Jeanty. Ashton Jeanty, over 2,200 yards, 28 touchdowns. Absurd. Closing on the single season record. I think I did the math. He's like 380 yards away. Which, I mean, he averages like over 200 a game. So, like, that's like in a game and a half. Like, he's probably going to break the record. And he's going to at least have 2 games. Maxwell Award finals, which is just the best player, and then Doak Walker, which is best running back, which he's going to, like, run away with. Boise State, they went 11-1. You know, narratives and team success plays a big part in, you know, your Heisman campaign. 11-1. They're playing in the Mountain West Conference game on Friday. They could potentially have a CFP berth and even crazier, a bye. You know, I know whenever they cooked up the 12-team playoff, they had no vision of the group of 5 team getting the bye. Sure, give them the auto bid, let them be the 12 seed, but them being the 4th seed, them getting an automatic bye, I know, and that's something that is also transcendent and unparalleled. I know this is the first year of the playoff, but I know no one expected the group of 5 team to ever get the bye. Like, that is not something that people had on their radar. So, and Ashton Jeanty is leading Boise State to that. He is literally carrying them on his back. I don't really care about the group of 5 competition level argument. I don't think that hurts Jeanty's case at all. You watch his game, he would be kicking everyone's ass in the SEC. He'd be running over the Big 12. He'd run through the ACC. He'd run over the Big 10. You know, like, sure, maybe he wouldn't be putting up these, like, gaudy stats, but, like his talent level. I mean, like, you think of someone like Derrick Henry. Obviously, they play differently. Like, I'm not saying he's Derrick Henry, but, you know, he was a big D1 running, you know, Power 5 running back. He didn't come close to breaking the records, and then he won the Heisman, and rightfully so. He was incredible, you know. So I think they're both doing things that are unprecedented. They're transcending what we thought was possible in college football. On an individual level for both of them, more team success for Boise State and Ashton Jeanty, but still, point withstanding. I think, like I said earlier, they both have an elite, great argument to win the Heisman. Now, as far as who I think should actually win, I think they both, you know, valid winners. I think every argument you have for either of them is great. The one thing I really want to lock in on Travis Hunter, and I know I already talked about this, but that 120 snaps a game, that is basically you playing the entire game. It's not like basketball or even baseball or hockey or soccer, or I guess literally most of the other big sports. You know, your stars only play half of the game. Like, Patrick Mahomes only plays half of the game. Now, he's still the best player in the world, and that's fine. You don't want Pat out there running damn cover 3. That's fine. But, you know, even the colleges that, you know, have the super high-powered, quick-tempo offenses, you know, like even Oregon, and then, you know, back in kind of like their, like, Chip Kelly spread, like Marcus Mariota heyday, where they were so up-tempo and so quick, they'd run, I think they were in, like, the 80s snaps a game, you know. Travis is doing that on both sides, playing 120 snaps, basically the entire game, and is arguably the best player, or is the best player on every single field he's stepped on, without getting injured like he got last year, playing every game, all game. That would be like playing 48 minutes every single game in the NBA. That's nuts. Like, that is so physically, humanly impossible, and yet it's happening. And yet it's absolutely happening. You know, he is absolutely putting in an incredible amount of work. I think it's a testament to his just athletic ability, durability, training, you know, and all that. So that's something I, like, really, really want to harp on that I haven't quite yet. And then for Ashton Jeanty, you know, the guy's a monster, dude. He is such a complete back. They don't really throw the ball to him too much, but he's got good receiving skills. Like if you look at his numbers from last year when they like actually threw him the ball a lot more, he had like good solid receiving stats. And then as a runner, he's super complete. He's got the right size, good speed, great vision. His yards after contact numbers are insane. He is so hard to take down. Because he's big. Like he's not like a little 5'8" guy. I think he's listed like 6'1". He's over 200, I think, at least. Correct me if I'm wrong down in the comments, but they're both. These are the two best players in college football. Like, no doubt. Normally, you could throw a quarterback in there, but I don't think the quarterback play in college football this year specifically is like super, super, super high as compared to like other years. There's not a Caleb Williams, there's not a Jaden Daniels, there's not a Kyler Murray, there's not a Joe Burrow. You get my point. Shador's good, but he's not those guys. Anyways, point being, I think it really comes down to your preference of, do you want the guy who is elite at two things, but not the best, versus the best, absolute, no question guy at their position? I think it's a compelling argument for me, just because Travis Hunter is doing something unparalleled, transcendent, something that we may not see for a long time and maybe never again, as opposed to Ashton, who's been great and who's been incredible. I think being group of 5 is going to hurt his case, unfortunately. I don't really care about that, but I think it's going to hurt his case. So for that reason, that's stupid. That's not even comprehensible. You know how hard it is to be that good at one of them, and you're that good at two of them? It just doesn't make sense. It just has no comprehension, and you can't wrap your head around it. You simply cannot wrap your head around it. So for that reason, I'm gonna go with Travis Hunter. But if you pick Ashton, I think it's completely valid. But I just think the versatility and the duality of his game puts Travis Hunter as my Heisman vote. But thank you for watching today's video. I always appreciate the support. Like I said, make sure you like, comment, subscribe so you don't miss out on any of the FUD. Check out the link content above, and have a great day. Thanks, guys.